Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to Mr. Alam for having invited me and giving me this occasion to release this book. And I'm also delighted to see old friends on screen, to see Ms. Dr. Hashia, to see Furqan. It's a great pleasure to see faces on screen because much time goes before we meet. Uh, I must applaud the efforts of the Institute for Objective Studies for bringing out this very, very timely book, because it is on statistics that we can do any planning. Minus the statistics, no planning is at all ever possible. And therefore, I applaud Dr. Khalid for having taken up this effort. The problem that I see before the Muslim community is fundamentally education. So it's good you have the statistics, but institute like yours and others are handicapped because in the field, you are unable to intervene and actually make a difference in the field of education. There is no doubt, I mean, Khalid pointed out those districts where there is paucity of education in Muslim areas. We all know that. We all know the cases in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, etc. These are the states where Muslims live in larger numbers, and these are the states that they suffer from quality education. Quality education is one thing, quantity of education is also missing. So I think great efforts are being made in South India. Furqan is aware that we have been touring South India, and we see a great deal of effort and progress being made in the southern parts of India, but which is missing in North India. Now, I would have been absolutely delighted if Professor Khalid had also spent some time uh, to bring out measures on how to counter this. Uh, I see government not doing very much, not this government anyway. And so if this government is to continue for another 5 years, I don't think the community should suffer from lack of help. The Sachar committee came out, I think 20 years ago, Furqan, if I'm right.
Yes.
And we have seen nothing to help the Muslims because, to be frank, it's a question of intent. India has forgotten the concept of affirmative action. जब बात होती है तो बार बार कहा जाता है appeasement. There is no concept of appeasement when dealing with minorities anywhere in the world. The words are affirmative action, where governments have to do hand-holding to communities if they are to come up. And that hand-holding indeed is missing from all plans of Government of India. A lie spoken 1,000 times becomes the truth. And therefore, it is embedded in our minds that there is appeasement of minority communities, be it Muslims, be it Christians, and be it Sikhs. Now, the problem is that the Sikhs can look after themselves. They are very well to do. The Christian community has taken yeoman steps, not from now, but for the last 100 years, to bring their community up in education. I have worked in the tribal areas in Madhya Pradesh in my younger days in the Indian Administrative Service. And you can see the difference in tribal villages. You go to a village, and on one side is a lane where the Christian community lives, and on the other side is where others live. And you will see that children of the Christian community are better clothed, their hair are combed, their hair are oiled, they speak smatterings of English. In the other side of the village, there is a complete lack of etiquette. And therefore, I think the problem before all of us are what measures are to be taken to bring in education. Statistics, fine, but we know what the truth is. There is also a catch-22 here. The Muslims have come up in skills. So if you need your home to be developed, you will find the plumber is a Muslim. You will find the electrician is a Muslim. You will find the man repairing your air conditioner is a Muslim. And that, unfortunately, while it is very good to survive, that unfortunately trickles down to children. So children drop out of education and go in for skills. This is the catch 22. Do you develop a skill to live in life, or you educate yourself to find further jobs and make progress? The Jews have studied over the last hundreds of years. Let me quote to you an example of the 1948 war when Israel was just formed. There were major Muslim nations surrounding this tiny created state. There was Egypt, there was Jordan, there's Iraq, there is Iran, there is Saudi Arabia, there is Bahrain, all mighty powers equipped with weaponry. But the Israelis beat them. And why and how? Because the man behind the gun in Israel was an educated soldier. He had done mathematics in school, he had studied physics in school. The man behind the gun in Egypt and Saudi Arabia was a raw army person. He lacked this compared to the soldier on the other side. So the critical aspect of education is always there, but we in India face this dichotomy. It is a catch-22. The other tragedy with our community is the lack of funds coming in to help poor educational institutions. There are numerous madrasas in Uttar Pradesh which need funding. Government will not fund them anymore. Who will fund them? These are these poor imams who come out at meager salaries trying to do Dini Talim. Dini Talim is wonderful, but it will not educate your community. The community must learn mathematics. The community must learn chemistry and physics and English. I was just traveling through Uzbekistan 2 weeks back. And if you go to Samarkand and Bukhara, you see the glory of Islamic education in those years, where in a madrasa, by the way, in a madrasa, you are taught medicine, you are taught geography, you are taught history, you are taught astronomy. There is no subject that is not taught in a madrasa. Where have we got this madrasa from, where we insist only on Dini Talim? And there is such resistance to modern education. So I think that institutes like yours, which are doing such tremendous work in collecting statistics, must also apply their mind to spread the message on how to impart education, on how to take this message to the poorest of the poor, particularly our ulema, because the Muslims in India still follow a great deal on what the ulema say. What I say doesn't matter. We tried our best in Jamia, it doesn't matter. There are young girls in Jamia in the Urdu and Arabic department, I used to call them and say, what would you do after BA? And they would say, we'd be married off. So 50% of your community gets married off. They must get into the working stream. And who will tell them this? It is only the ulama who will tell them, because you and I cannot convince the community. And we don't have political leaders. You have seen in this election that in a population of 150 crores, if there are, say, 70 crores voters, Muslims, you have managed to elect 24 MPs. Now, that speaks greatly for the condition, because now you have lost political power. You have lost financial power. You don't have industry and you don't have education. How does any community progress minus all these things? So I really think that I really admire what the Institute is doing. I think great work was done by Sachar Sahab. I think great work is done by young people like Khalid. But, and there lies the very big question mark, that where will we have an impact? When will we impact our young? As we speak today, a very young IAS officer, Ariz Ahmed Assam Carter. He has been holding these seminars in the Islamic Center in Delhi to educate young Muslims and inspire them to join the services. That's one man's service. He will. We wish him all the luck. That's the kind of initiative that is required. Furqan and I had started the IAS training coaching in Jamia in 2010.
Thank you very much, Mr. Najeeb Jung.